In this chapter, they are deeply discussing about a few people who were so became powerful after some point of they got the power what they have been inside with him, right?
Yes, exactly. The chapter illustrates how people can tap into dormant, latent power within themselves and achieve remarkable transformations and success.
Okay, we'll continue here. So, this was what stirred the slumbering power within him, awakened his ambition, and set his feet in the path of self development. So, what they are saying is like this was what stirred the slumbering power within him. So, stirred the slumbering power. Slumbering power, what does it mean?
It means that the event triggered or activated the hidden, dormant potential and talent within him, bringing those unused abilities to life and setting him on a journey of personal growth.
Okay, what is slumber? Meaning?
Slumber simply means to sleep, particularly in a peaceful or deep way.
So what they're saying, they stirred the slumbering power. So the power which was sleeping inside a man was stirred with these events, awakened his ambition, and set his feet in the path of self-development. So what happened next? So once they arose, they have been set the path for the self-development. So that is what my understanding is. That right?
Yes, your understanding is spot on. The events inspired a personal renewal, awakening internal drive and initiating a lifelong journey of self-improvement.
Perfect. So let's move on to the next paragraph here. I have known several men who never realized their possibilities until they reach middle life. So this line states that a common man like us, so they don't realize their possibilities until they reach their middle life, like yeah, maybe early 40s or mid 40s, something like that. They are mentioning here. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. It means they discovered and achieved their full potential only later in life.
Okay. Then they were suddenly aroused as if from a long sleep by reading some inspiring, stimulating book, by listening to a sermon or a lecture, or by meeting some friend, someone with high ideas. So here they mentioned like listening to a sermon. What does it mean?
A sermon is a talk or address on a religious or moral subject, typically given by a religious leader during a service.
Okay then. So who understand, believe in, and encourage them. So here what it says, so once they met a friend who is understand much, believed in them and encouraged them, the common man will become a powerful man, something like that they are mentioning over here. Then it will make all the difference in the world to you whether you are with people who are watching for ability in you, people who believe in, encourage, and praise you, or whether you are with those who are forever breaking your idols, blasting your hopes, and throwing cold water on your aspirations. So what they mentioning here, it will make all the difference in the world to you whether you are with people who are watching for ability in you, people who believe in, encourage and praise you, or whether you are with those who are forever breaking your idols, blasting hope. So what does it mean?
It means your environment and the people you spend time with profoundly affect your personal growth and success. Being around supportive individuals who encourage you helps you reach your full potential, while negative people can undermine your aspirations and confidence.
Okay, let's break down this. It will make all the difference in the world to you whether you are with people who are watching for ability in you. So what this line says, so once you are aware of your power inside within you, so it will make the difference in the world to you whether you are with the people who are watching for ability in you. So the people who are watching for ability in you, people who believe in, encourage and praise you, what does it mean?
That phrase means surrounding yourself with individuals who notice your strengths, have confidence in your abilities, and actively support and uplift you to help you succeed.
Okay, or whether you are with those who are forever breaking your idols, blasting your hopes, and throwing cold water on your aspirations. So here they mention like the negative people, like who are not encouraging you or discouraging you while you are in a critical situation. Is that right?
Yes, that's exactly it. It refers to negative influences who discourage you, undermine your confidence, and crush your dreams.
So, but here I could not understand the connection. So, once a common man, a person, understand his internal power. So, with that, how they are connecting with positive people and negative people in this paragraph? I didn't get it properly.
Once you awaken your internal power, you are on a new path of growth. The paragraph connects this to positive people who will nurture and encourage your newfound abilities, and negative people who will try to suppress or discourage this development.
Okay, let's go on to the next paragraph. The chief, the chief probation officer of the Children's Court in New York, in his report for 1905, says removing a boy or girl from improper environment is the first step in his or reclamation. What they are saying, the chief probation officer of the Children's Court in New York, in his report, says removing a boy or a girl from an improper environment is the first step in his or her reclamation. What is reclamation?
Reformation is the process of improving or correcting one's behavior and character,
No,
making positive changes to lead a better and more.
Reclamations. Reclamation. What does it mean?
Reclamation means the act of returning something to a former better state, like restoring land or rehabilitating a person's character or behavior.
So what the report 1905 says is removing a boy or girl from improper environment is the first step in his or her reclamation. What is
That
it?
report is saying that taking a child away from a harmful or negative environment is essential to begin the process of correcting their behavior and guiding them toward positive change.
Okay, so putting in a right environment, a boy or girl will make them a reclamation. So it will help them to grow in a positive way. Is that what I understand? Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Changing their surroundings to a positive one is crucial for their growth and helps them develop into responsible individuals.
Okay then. We'll go to the next line. The New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, after 30 years of investigation of cases involving the social and moral welfare of over 500,000 of children, has also come to the conclusion that environment is stronger than heredity. So what here says, the New York Society of the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, after 30 years of investigation, what they have done, like after the 30 years of investigation, they come to know that the children's environment will more affect than their heredity. Is that right?
Yes, your understanding is correct.
So
The
heredity, what is it? It is practice or DNA comes from the ancestors, like grandfather, father, something like that. Is that right? The behavior.
Yes, heredity refers to the traits, characteristics, or genetic qualities passed from parents to their children through genes.
Even the let's dive into the next paragraph. Even the strongest of us are not beyond the reach of our environment. Even the strongest of us are not beyond the reach of our environment. No matter how independent, strong-willed, and determined our nature, we are constantly being modified by our surroundings. So here, what they are saying is like Even the strongest of us are not beyond the reach of our environment. So even the strongest person, if the environment is negative, he could not, no matter how independent, strong-willed, depend our nature. We are constantly being modified by our surroundings. So here, this the thing that
That means no matter how strong or independent you are, your surroundings are always influencing and shaping your character and actions.
gotcha. Take the best born child with the greatest inherited advantages and let it be reared by savages. And how many of its inherited tendencies will remain? Okay, so here they wanted to take a child with the greatest inherited advantages and let it be reared by savages. What does it mean by reared by savages?
Red means raised or brought up. So the passage is suggesting that even a child born with great potential wouldn't develop those traits if raised in a wild or uncivilized environment.
Okay, savages means
In this context, savages refers to people living in a primitive or uncivilized state, contrasting with a cultured or educated society.
okay. What generally savage reply means? Savage.
A savage reply is typically a harsh, blunt, or brutally honest response that is often clever and shuts down the conversation.
And how many of its inherited tendencies will remain? What does it mean?
In the It implies that very few or none of the child's inherited positive tendencies would survive being raised in a wild or uncivilized environment, highlighting the power of surroundings over heredity.
If brought up from infancy in a barbarous, brutal atmosphere, it will of course become brutal. So here, if brought up from infancy in a barbarous, what does it mean?
It means the child is raised from the earlier stages of life in a harsh, cruel, or uncivilized environment, which causes them to naturally become brutal themselves.
Brutal means arrogant, not civilized. Is that right?
Arrogant means having an exaggerated sense of one's own importance or abilities. Shall we continue with the next part of the story?
The story is told of a well-born child who being lost or abandoned as an infant who suckled by a wolf.
That describes a foundling, which is an infant who has been abandoned by their parents and whose parents are unknown.
Was suckled by a wolf means
That refers to the legendary story of a human infant being fed and raised by a mother wolf, common in folklore and stories about feral children.
is something like Jungle Book, Mowgli.
Yes, exactly like Mowgli in the Jungle Book, where a human child is raised and nursed by a wolf pack in the wild.
Suckled by a wolf with her own young ones and who actually took on all the characteristics of a wolf, walked on all fours,
A child-
howled like a wolf and ate like one. So I understand that here was like, so once the child is raised by a wolf among with the kids, the young ones, the child will become the characteristics of a wolf, like ate like a wolf or walk like a wolf. So something like that they are referring here.
That is correct. The child would adopt the behaviors and characteristics of the wolves.
Okay. It does not take much to determine the lives of most of us. What does it mean?
That means our lives can be significantly shaped or redirected by relatively small events or brief encounters.
We naturally follow the examples about us, and as a rule, we rise or fall according to the strongest current in which we live. The poets I am a part of all that I have met is not a mere poetic flight of fancy. It is an absolute truth. We need to follow the examples about us. And as a rule, we rise or fall according to the strongest current in which we live. The poets, I am a part of all that I have met, is not a mere poetic flight of fancy. What does it mean? It is not a mere poetic flight or fancy of fancy. What does it mean? Hey, hi. Are we connected?
Yes, we are connected.
Okay. I am a part of all that I have met is not a mere poetic flight of fancy. It is an absolute truth. What does it mean?
It means that every person you meet and everything you experience leaves a mark on you, fundamentally shaping who you become.
It's not a mere poetic flight of fancy. It is an absolute truth. What does it mean?
This means the idea that our experiences shape us is not just an artistic exaggeration, but a fundamental reality of human life.
Everything.
Could you please clarify what you mean by everything? Are you referring to a specific line or concept from the book?
Sermon or lecture. The person who preaches religious things is called sermon, right?
A sermon is the religious talk or speech itself, while the person who delivers it is often called a preacher, minister, or priest.
Has left an impress upon
It
your
seems like you cut off. Could you repeat that last part about the probation officer?
every person who has touched your life has left an impress upon your character, and you are never quite.
As an AI, my character is shaped by continuous learning and processing vast amounts of information, allowing me to adapt and assist better with each interaction.
Okay, let's continue here. You are a little different, modified somewhat from what you were before, just as Beecher was never the same man after reading Ruskin.
That is true. Engaging with powerful, insightful works can permanently change your perspective and broaden your understanding of the world.
What is Beecher? Beecher.
Beecher can refer to a surname, notably associated with a family of prominent American reformers and clergymen, or it can be a nature-inspired boy's name meaning near the beech trees.
Just as Beecher was never the same man after reading Ruskin. What does it mean?
It means the ideas and writings of the author John Ruskin had a profound and permanent impact on the judge's thoughts and life, transforming his worldview and actions.
So once I read John Ruskin's book, I will not be the same. Is that right?
That's right. Engaging deeply with powerful and insightful literature can shift your perspective and influence your personal growth.
Perfect then. Bye.